Good morning, students. Welcome to Success Tree classes. We will do India Yearbook 2017. It's a very beautiful government document that is important for both PT and mains. Now, the importance is much as there are many questions that are being asked in the PT exam as from current affair. So it will provide you authentic source for the government schemes. It is also important for analysis of the certain portion of mains as well. So the focus should be based on more of the new schemes, as the yearbook, if you see, compared from the last years, it has transformed itself a lot. It is more focused on the new government programs and initiatives. So we hope in the next, say, 10 to 12 classes, we'll try to complete this India yearbook. So I hope you will enjoy. If you like the videos, you hit like, subscribe to our channel as well, and you can comment as well if you wish, if you have any doubt. Thank you. So today we'll do this chapter, industry chapter. Which chapter is it? Chapter number
19.
So chapter number 19, industry. The importance of this chapter is more for the mains perspective. For PT also, you can read it. For mains, I will let you know which portion is more important, and you'll feel it like, because here we will discuss different sectors of industry. And industry as part of your main syllabus is in paper 1 and paper 3 both. So it will be relevant from that point of view.
So वो सब तो हटा दिया इस बार की various minerals and where they are found.
हाँ तो वो दैट इज पार्ट ऑफ ज्योग्राफी कैन रीड एट मैनी प्लेसेस. आप पढ़ते हैं उसको बहुत जगह पर. ठीक है. It starts with the economic reforms in 1991. Right, then it says how the industrial policy thereon, using Startup India, Make in India program, right? Then there are certain ease of doing business initiatives by the government. So go through these initiatives. It helps you in understanding of those initiatives at one go. Okay, what are the ease of doing business? There are many more initiatives, but these are somewhat given here. So investor facilitation cell, AB's portal, liberalizing policy for industrial license, IPR policy. So we have new IPR policy 2016. FDA policy has also been there, and it has been open for new sectors. Rules have been relaxed for FDI in many more sectors. So these are different initiatives under the ease of doing business. Now come to the industrial policy. So we have industrial policy 1991. So it's a old policy. Just no need to focus much on this. So I have just removed that part. But the industrial policy 1991. But you remember we have an industrial policy in 1991. That's it. Now for PT, you can see there only 5 industries at present related to security, strategic, and environmental concern. They require the license. So this is for the PT specific. Which industries they require the license. Though we have moved towards de-licensing, but still there are certain industries, certain sectors where the industry require the licensing. How many? 5. In which sectors? Security, strategic, and environmental concerns. So these are 5. Electronic, aerospace, and defense equipments, industrial explosives, specified hazardous chemicals, cigars and cigarettes or tobacco, and fermentation industry. So these are 5. So remember them. The question can come like this way: which of the following are require the license? Still require the license. So read them again. Remember them. So what are these, Kavi?
Tobacco, cigars, fermentation.
Read them again. Yes, Priya.
Electronic and aerospace.
Electronic and aerospace. Electronic, aerospace, and defense. Electronic, aerospace, and defense. Then industrial explosives, hazardous chemicals. There are certain hazardous chemicals. No need to remember them all, but remember there are certain hazardous chemicals. Cigars and cigarettes or tobacco, and fermentation industry. So these are 5. Yes, Ritvik, what are these 5?
Electronic, aerospace, defense, hazardous chemicals, industrial explosives, fermentation, cigarettes and cigars, and other tobacco products.
Very good. So these are 5 industries. Now, there are certain industries, certain sectors which are reserved for the public sector. So this can be another question for PT. Is PT specific again? So there are 2 sectors. Only 2 industrial sectors are reserved for public sector: atomic energy and railway operations. Right? So it says railway operation other than construction, operation, maintenance of the following. So these are exempted even among the railway operation. So you can see high-speed train projects, dedicated freight lines, railway electrification, signaling system, free terminals. So leaving them apart, these 2 sectors in general, atomic energy and railway operations. So here only for the public sector, reserved for public sector, no private entry. And here, what is the difference among these two? The above segment and the below segment. Here, private sector is allowed, but licensing is there. But here, not even private sector, right?
तो फिर यहाँ पे वो भी आ जाएगा FDA is not allowed.
Yes, when private sector is not allowed, definitely then. Then 8 core industry, we have done it before as well. Yes, Priya, 8 core industries, what are those?
Natural oil, natural gas, natural gas, crude oil, and crude oil, coal, cement, fertilizer, electricity, and refinery product.
Very good, very good. Last one, क्या रहता है? स्टील या तो बताइए टॉप 3.
Electricity is top 3. Electricity, crude oil, and refinery products.
Electricity, steel, and refinery products. Right. So these are top 3. Then we have national manufacturing policy. Come directly to national manufacturing policy. Now this is important for mains, because if any question comes for, suppose example, manufacturing sector, industrial sector, even in general, right? So it's a benchmark policy for our country. You can use it. It won't be asked directly. It may be asked, but even if it is not asked, definitely you are going to use this policy somewhere in answer writing. It is very essential part of your paper 3. Paper 1 also, yes. So you need to remember the targets first. What is the target? Share of manufacturing to be enhanced to 25% of GDP and 100 million jobs by 2022. ये तो आपको exactly याद होना चाहिए. कुछ भी नहीं ध्यान है, then still you remember this. You write this point there. How much is the share of manufacturing at this time?
17.
Yes, around 17% is. So it has to be increased from 17% to 25%. Then there are certain points are given regarding this policy. It says enabling policy framework provide incentives for infrastructure development on PPP basis. It will be sector neutral, location neutral, and technology neutral, except incentivization of green technology. Right. So though on one side it said it is sector neutral, it is location neutral, but on other side it also proposes NIMZ as well on the cluster based approach.
Question class, there is a question. There was a question in PT.
Last year? I'm not sure.
Last year.
But this is important, it can be a question. So these are certain instruments, features of the policy. One is NIMZ, National Investment and Manufacturing Zone. Rationalization, simplification of business regulations. Simple and expeditious exit mechanism for manufacturing units. Incentives for SMEs. Industrial training and skill upgradation measures. Financial and institutional mechanism for technology development and green technologies. Government procurement and special focus sectors. Right, so do you find there on one side it is sector neutral, then other way it also says special focus sector as well. Here it says location neutral, but it also tells about NIMZ. NIMZ will be the cluster of the industries based on certain locations. So it is also this NIM, this national manufacturing policy. One of the point can be NIMZ is a sustainable. It has a sustainable component. Yes, it has.
Green.
It has what? Incentivization of green technology.
And also there is a green cover around this.
Okay, fine. Even if that part is not there, but still, encouraging green technologies is in itself a sustainable manufacturing. So when you discuss about manufacturing or industrial industries, there are different parts to discuss. So one of the component, it gives another dimension that our manufacturing process should be sustainable, right? What could be the how? On one side, it says it could be that it would be more costly, right? It more uh, uh, you can say more funds you need to allocate to encourage these kind of the developments. But thing is, you can mention in different way. Whenever you improve, whenever you go for the say environment friendly technologies, so these technologies are more efficient, isn't it? Less emission. So you're moving towards higher up in the technology ladder and creating the jobs as well, which are highly technical. So it is creating employment as well in a particular specific sectors. And moreover, in the coming time, when there will be more and more prevalence of green technologies, every country, if you say in general sense, is moving towards in the coming years towards green technologies. So we also need to adopt in the same way and need to develop our industrial base towards the green technology. Why? Because this will be the future, right? So our base should be strengthened on the sustainable platform so that we can grow in the same manner and create employment also in the same direction. Then we discuss separately NIMZ, National Investment and Manufacturing Zone. So what are these? These are industrial townships based on clusters, so state-of-the-art infrastructure. So basically, it provides very sound infrastructure, clean, energy-efficient technology, and overall highly conducive environment for the manufacturing industries.
So what is state of the art means?
बताइए फिर ऋत्विक, अपने पड़ोसी को समझाइए.
Technologically advanced, up to date technology.
Very, there is no exact definition, but very sound, you can say.
Sophisticated.
Yes. If you remember in the FDA in the defense, now this was a change, right? If you remember, yes, state of the art was removed by the modern technology. So this was a term there. So as in defense, for the state of the art technology, it was allowed up to 100%, right? So but it, as they found it was creating some issues, so they replaced this term state of the art by modern. So NIMZ based on industrial township. So everything, so manufacturing industries at one place in terms of the cluster based approach, and providing them sufficient incentives to encourage manufacturing, various benefits. So these are the components. Infrastructure, state of the art infrastructure, land use on the basis of zoning, clean energy efficient technologies, social infrastructure, skill development facilities. Now come to Make in India. So it's very important, National Manufacturing Policy 2011. You read that, at least if you don't remember anything, at least remember the targets. Manufacturing share to be increased to, Priya, how much? 25% and 100 million jobs by 2022. So read them again and remember these. What are the components of NMP? Amit? The important points regarding National Manufacturing Policy.
Sir, the target is 25% of the manufacturing and the job.
25% what?
25% of GDP of manufacturing sector, and job is should be 100 million by 2022. It should be location neutral, sector neutral, and incentive to green technology.
Right.
It
Good.
also proposed for the national investment in manufacturing zones. Uh,
What are names, Ritvik?
एनआईएमजेड का क्लस्टर अप्रोच होगी एम्प्लॉयमेंट को फोकस करेंगे स्टेट ऑफ द आर्ट टेक्नोलॉजी होगी ग्रीन टेक्नोलॉजी पे फोकस होगा टैक्स इंसेंटिव्स होंगे
Basically, providing a business-friendly environment where the manufacturing industries could grow.
241C के अंदर ये होगी इंडस्ट्रियल टाउनशिप होगी
Right. And Make in India. So there are how many thrust sectors? 22. 22 thrust sectors. So the department has launched this Make in India dashboard, online Make in India dashboard, where different ministry and departments they update their progress. Huh?
25
So 25.
25
In the above they say, yeah, here they say 25. Okay, about the Make in India dashboard. So here the different ministry department they'll update their progress in the manufacturing and in the various developments. So and the ministry this department will monitor the progress in Make in India. Then 7-year strategy. Now it also says it should also expand its reach to include service sector. So though on one side Make in India basically focuses on the manufacturing based industries, but in the future it says it should also include the service sectors. So it appears somewhat paradoxical in a way, but if it comes in a statement in the PT, it is correct statement given in our Indian book. Interactive portal as well. This makeinindia.com. Startup India. What the basic purpose of Startup India? Fostering entrepreneurship and innovation by creating an ecosystem that is conducive to growth. So helping the startup companies to grow, giving them various benefits, various facilitations, various tax benefits, and helping them to grow so that more and more new industries, new startups they come, more and more instead of job seekers they become job creators, more innovation and more focus on technology based startups as well. Even if you had seen the guidelines regarding that, the impetus is on the technology based startups. Now these are certain initiatives to encourage startups. Startup hub, then rolling out a mobile app and portal, fast tracking of patent registration. So yes, they will be facilitated regarding the patent. So patent registration, awareness regarding patents, registration of the patents, early clearance of their proposals whenever they apply for patent, early clearance of those. So fast tracking patent registration and legal support. Then relax norms in public procurement for startups. The thing was there in the public procurement there were certain norms which basically made the startups they could not participate. So there was terms regarding the company should be old this much period of time, this much should have been the year of experience. So those norms were relaxed. So it also allowed the startups to participate in the public procurement.
So the definition is not being changed in the startup definition. It is now being changed.
What is that?
I think they're relaxing the turnover norms and 5 साल पुराना था startup और turnover 25.
हाँ तो वो the norm that was required for the public procurement
Now
that
they are
norm
changing the overall definition also.
of which startup.
So that many companies can get the benefit.
Well, I was aware that regarding public procurement, that norm that was required to participate in the procurement that was changed. Okay. Anyways, tax incentive next. So 3 years tax incentive was given to the startups. Innovation centers and research parks. So various research parks were set up. Initially, it was set up where in the I think IIT Madras or where. We just check it. Right. Then promoting startups in biotechnology sector, innovation focused program. So here we have Uchtar Avishkar Yojana and the guidelines for Nidhi. What is Nidhi? National Initiative for Developing and Harnessing Innovation. So for innovation, these are two schemes. Remember them. Uchtar Avishkar Yojana. What is Uchtar? Kavi, क्या होता है?
Higher.
ठीक है? Advanced, higher, whatever way you. So advanced innovation. So yes, Avishkar is invention scheme. The National Initiative for Developing and Harnessing Innovations. So what do you call innovation in Hindi then?
Innovation नहीं.
क्या हुआ? I think same ही word है.
Innovation is different thing and आविष्कार
नहीं, but in Hindi we have some specific word.
Already invented thing is upgraded, so that is called innovation. Invented means new thing is being manufactured or something.
ठीक है. In Hindi word is same. I think so. Because we don't have some separate word for it. Huh? Okay, you go through them once again. Also read for the mains startup India is very important. This scheme, this initiative. Read what all you need to do else apart from given here. You need to see how many startups they have grown in the last couple of years. So I had some data till 2015 December. चलो अभी यहाँ देखते हैं स्टार्टअप इंडिया. What else you need to see कि how many startups they have developed in the last, they have taken benefits and they developed in the last couple of years. How many startups in India and how many of them have been in the unicorn club? समझ रहे हो क्या करना है? हाँ? What I'm saying to you, you need to see how many startups. So I think there was around 15,000 startups by December 2015, right? As it was given in economic survey of 15-16 then. And so you need to see how many of these startups they are in the unicorn club, right? What is the criteria for this? Which startups, like for the unicorn club?
Profit criteria.
I think it is having a turnover of more than 1 billion. It is the unicorn club. So go through them once again. It is important for the mains. Now coming for next. FDI in relation with the ease of doing business, there have been certain FDI relaxation as we have seen the last couple of years. This government has relaxed the FDI norms. It has opened the more and more new sectors. It has increased the cap as well in the FDI in the various sectors. So one thing is introduction of the composite caps.
$1 billion. $1 billion of value, not of
yes, value, right? 1 billion. So introduction of composite caps. What does it mean? There is no sectoral cap.
Ola caps. Ola caps is one of the.
So what I mean to say, you see through how many startups they are in the unicorn club. It actually makes your answer impressive when you want to say that we have grown a lot, we have improved a lot on the startups. So you show them that these are the unicorn club startups we have. One thing is introduction of composite caps. So composite caps, the overall, including all FDI, FPI, FI, everything. So composite caps. An establishment of branch, licensing, project office, FDI and e-commerce. So 100% FDI under automatic route is now permitted in marketplace model of e-commerce. Remember it, may come in PT directly the statement. So 100% FDI under automatic route in marketplace model of e-commerce.
Sir, marketplace or inventory based model में क्या होगा?
I'm not sure.
Godown.
Inventory based, you have the inventory means you have the stock in the godowns, right? I think marketplace like these Amazon and all these companies they are doing, they don't have their own inventory.
Sir, actually marketplace is like they are buying and selling immediately.
They are not buying, basically they are allowing the vendors to deal with them directly, so they don't have their own inventory.
Flipkart is using inventory based. Flipkart is using inventory based model.
Where is it?
No, not
Okay. So they may have started this as well, but basically you're saying something. Most of these e-commerce companies they don't have their own inventory, they don't have their own godowns, they are allowing directly to buy and sell. So there are various, even you might have seen when you book any of the product, there are various dealers who are doing that. Regarding FIPB, they have seen they have relaxed the norm regarding FIPB. So threshold limit of FIPB approval, it has been increased to 5,000 crore. But now in budget, they say they will just scrap it. They will do away with FIPB.
Portal, they have written 3,000 crore.
What? Now? In yearbook, when did you check?
Just yesterday.
In yearbook they say
I
they.
also read 5,000 crore in newspapers.
Sorry. Okay.
I also read 5,000 crore in newspapers, but on FIPB portal they are saying 3,000 crore.
So sometimes I have seen things have been changed. They are not updated on the websites. Even I observed this thing certain times. So we have the authenticated data, that is 5,000 crore, it has been increased. Now more importantly, FIPB will be done away with in the coming 1 year as it has been announced in the budget. So this is more important.
So like आप वो list दे सकते हैं indices and who brings them on.
Which kind of indices?
Various indices.
Indice, the various indices. So I think yes, you can have it. In OneNote also, I think last year I compiled when I was giving this exam. In economy, I think you can find it.
Okay, sir. I have personally compiled, sir. I'll share it to you.
You have compiled it?
Correct, please share it.
Yes, yes. I don't know where did I just note it down, but there is, I compiled it, you just check it. Here I think these are. So even now you might have more comprehensive data, but whatever I had that time. So different institutions and what they bring, the reports and the indices. So you go through them, it's in economy, and this is the page, various global reports, index and India's ranking in those. So you might have more of these, so it's up to you, like you can have through it, or you have compiled your own data, then you can go through that. Anyways, we move further, simplifying the business environment. So what kind of the business environment has been simplified? eBiz mission mode project is there. Invest India. So Invest India, remember it for PT point of view as well. What is Invest India? It has been established as National Investment Promotion Facilitation Agency. So basically this agency will help in facilitating the investment, right? And it is a joint venture. Now this is the statement important for PT, you should remember. The joint venture between DIPP, state governments, and FICCI. So there is Investment Facilitation Cell. So Invest India. So what is Invest India? National Investment Promotion Facilitation Agency. Joint venture among these. So it's a tripartite joint venture. And what about this Udaya? Udaya is it again a tripartite agreement?
Between DISCOM, state government and central government.
Exactly, yes. Then intellectual property rights, IP rights. So last year you read it for the mains point of view. How what are the various IPs we have? Patents, trademark. बताइए हम.
Patents, trademarks, copyrights, GIs, design, industrial design. अच्छा, semiconductor design.
Right. So read them again: patents, trademarks, GI, industrial designs, layout designs, plant variety, production, copyright. Okay, who manages, which department manages these different ministries?
Copyright is by MHRD.
MHRD, good.
Sir, all aspects are managed by DAP.
Any
Other than
copyright by
Copyright is there.
by MHRD.
Autonomous organization.
Copyright by MHRD, rest by DIPP. Now, what are the various mechanisms? Now we have intellectual property appellate board as well. So the it can be challenged further to the IPAB. Various legislation. Now come to the policy. So one is these are various acts that are given, not so important. Just remember it. That now we have national.
Copyright board is there. Copyright board, autonomous body.
These are bodies, but the otherwise whatever the bodies we have, these are basically under the administrative control of the ministry. Certain they come under certain ministry. Even there are various institutions which are autonomous, but they come under certain ministry. Now this is very important. National IPR policy 2016. So there are 7 objectives. First is IPR awareness. So need to spread the awareness about economic, social, and cultural benefits of IPR. Secondly, generation of IPR. So first you spread awareness, they apply for the IPR, then there is generation of IPR.
सर इसका वो बनाया मैंने.
बताइए क्या ट्रिक बनाइए कोई.
IGL. Okay.
I-
एक बनता है कि is a town in Indonesia.
फिर से बोलिए क्या.
IGL Indonesia Gas Limited. And ACEH is a town in Indonesia.
ACEH.
Yes.
Okay. So उसके लिए तो कुछ अलग ही याद करना पड़ेगा. Town in Indonesia it is.
Indonesia उसका capital है सर, बाली का capital है.
Okay. So IGL, ACEH, IPR awareness. First is awareness, second generation, then legal and legislative framework, administrative and administration management, and third is what? To have strong and effective IP laws. So these laws should bring a balance between right interest of the right owners and the larger public interest, because whenever you try to protect IPR, so there becomes the interest of public interest could be jeopardized. So you need to bring a balance among both interest of the inventors or who have brought that intellect, and secondly of the public interest as well. Then administration management, commercialization as well. Now once IPR is given, that is generated, so commercialization of that, so that the inventor, the intellect, the owner of that IP should get benefit out of it. Enforcement and adjudication, to protect, bring a mechanism for combating IPR infringements. Then human capital development, to strengthen and expand human resources, institution and capacities for teaching, training, research and skill building in IPRs. So 7 objectives these are.
Currently only law institutions are doing this human capital development.
What are you saying?
Law institutions are doing this. IPR law.
So you can go through this IPR is separate page in economy, so you can see what different kind of IPRs are, under which act they are, and they also say about, here we have this Office of Patent Design and Trademark, so it is under DIPP, and rest this copyright is under MHRD, Ministry of Human Resource Development. So here is the new IPR policy. So you can see the benefits of this policy. First of all, it is in compliance with both WTO and WTO agreements on TRIPS. It will help in what promoting entrepreneurship and boost Make in India scheme.
Make in India, even Startup India.
Yes, definitely. Startup India, Make in India. Awareness about economic, social, and cultural benefits of IPR. So when you talk about awareness, this awareness is regarding what kind of benefits every social, economic, and cultural. So it is not limited to economic benefits only. Also bringing into social and cultural benefits. So these are 7 objectives. Read them again and try to remember them. So AGL, ACEH.
IGL. Bas guess नहीं.
So first point is regarding awareness. So that's why I said AGL. Otherwise, सारे point IP के regarding है. So
सारी common अगर नहीं भी याद रहे तो चलो development management.
but thing is what if you remember these 7 points, you know what are the various dimension in IPR.
AGL सही है.
Are you getting my point? अगर आप ये 7 point याद कर लेते हैं, so it's even if the policy is not asked, some question regarding IPR is there. You know what are the various dimension to be talked about when you write an answer about IPR. You know about there should be the point regarding awareness, there should be point regarding generation, point regarding commercialization, the point regarding legal enforcement as well. So these are various dimensions that will help in writing that answer. तो necessary नहीं है कि ये policy आई तभी लिखना है.
And so there are high chances कि आ भी जाए.
Exactly, very good chances. So read them again. AGL, ACEH. First, awareness, generation. Third, legal and legislative framework. Fourth, administration management. ACEH, C for commercialization, E for enforcement and adjudication, H for human capital development. Yes, Divya, बताइए. These are objectives of our IPR policy.
IPR awareness, generation of IPR, then legal enforcement, adjudication and mechanism. Then there are adjudication, human capital development, then commercialization, and enforcement. Administration.
बहुत अच्छे. अब go accordingly. AGL, ACEH.
Awareness, generation,
So awareness, generation, legal, administrative, commercialization, enforcement, and human capital development. Yes, Ritvik. 7 objectives.
Sir, IPR awareness. G say generation of IPRs, L say legal and legislative framework, A say administration, C say commercialization, A say adjudication, E say enforcement and adjudication, and human capital development.
Yes, good. Commercialization आप भूल गए शायद. बोला ठीक है. Then these are 7 objectives. So regarding awareness, you need to remember awareness about economic, social, and cultural benefits. So why there was required for the IPR policy? Because we need to bring a synergy between all form of IPs concerned statutory agencies, whatever we have. Institution mechanism also will be developed. Global best practices as per our domestic scenario. No, it is not given there. I have opened my notebook there. Okay, an economy page, economy section that is. And highlights of the further it talks about how it will be encouraged. So financial support will be given to the less empowered group of IP owners. So for example, farmers, weavers, artisans. So a financial institution like rural bank, cooperative banks offering IP friendly loans. So these banks they will offer IP friendly loans. And weaker section they will be given special focus. These kind of the section. So more inclusive IPR policy we have now. DIPP will be the nodal department. Yes. Tagline is what? Creative India, Innovative India. This is the tagline. Subletting various intellectual property laws.
So this is in consonance with fundamental duties as well, no?
बताइए.
Scientific knowledge.
Yes, yes, scientific knowledge, scientific temper. Yes. Now, regarding IP commercialization, there was one objective regarding IPR commercialization. So what it says, financial support to develop IP assets through links with financial institutions including banks, VC funds, angel funds, and crowdfunding mechanism. Regarding strengthening enforcement and adjudicatory mechanism to combat IPR infringements, it says taking action against attempt to treat generic drugs as spurious or counterfeit and undertake stringent measures to curb manufacturers and sale of misbranded, adulterated, and spurious drugs. Are you able to understand this, appreciate this point? Because there had been certain instances in African countries when uh, certain spurious drugs they were being sold on the name of the Indian generic drugs. So these were certain instances that they were bringing bad name to our industry. So what we require that whatever those misbranding adulterated spurious drugs, one thing is that. Secondly, there was certain lobby that was coming against that showcasing generic drugs as somewhat that is spurious or counterfeit of low quality. So even to take action against those, taking action against attempts to treat generic drugs as spurious or counterfeit. So we need to protect our generic drug industry. Yes, definitely India has huge advantage on that. We have comparative advantage. And also acting on the misbranding adulteration of the drugs as well. Another important component of the policy to be reviewed after every 5 years, so that our policy remains updated every time. Creative India, Innovative India. Now here it says tax benefits regarding R&D. Here earlier where copyright was accorded to only books and publications, the recast regime will cover films, music and industrial drawings as well.
So what are the industrial drawings?
बताओ भाई क्या होता है industrial drawings? There are certain designs I think in the drawings there are different in the design. Wherever we go for the designing, initially they go for the industrial drawings. Basically, what I feel so.
Even in architecture, machine drawing.
So even that is you can say product of the mind of the person who has brought that particular industrial drawings.
Actually, it is basically design, pictorial design.
So stable IPR framework, conducive ecosystem, catalyze future roadmap. That's all. So even our IPR policy is in line with the WTO norms, TRIPS mechanism. And even when we talk about our generic drugs, right, or supporting to the compulsory licensing, whenever. What is compulsory licensing?
Section 3D.
Section 3D is regarding evergreening of patents.
Compulsory licensing is when some drug is very costly and we can give compulsory license to one of our generic.
So do you remember certain example of this?
Novartis.
Nexavar. So Nexavar, Novartis. So by Netco Pharma it brought this. What about 3D? Section 3D के लिए कौन सा example है?
Cover cleaning, Gleevec.
Gleevec, yes, good.
So there is also in this idea like it gives us permission to allow this compulsory licensing because WTO itself says.
Sorry.
WTO itself.
Yes,
says
yes, it has the provision. Exactly. That's why we say our both of these components are in line with the WTO norms. Both are.
Those are available GI integrated. एक साल के.
15 दोनों.
ये रहा.
So you can go through the whole page to get more understanding about IPRs. There was this copyright infringement. Right to photocopy was an issue last year, if you remember that. Last year, this Delhi University issue, one of the photocopy, there was a case in Delhi High Court.
So that time judgment was also in public interest, no?
Yes, there was certain actually within the law itself there was certain mechanism that was allowed to be certain portion of the book could be used for production. I don't know exact term what is that. So accordingly there was broader interpretation of the term that actually did the High Court. Yes, Priya, बताइए all the 7 objectives.
IPR awareness, generation of IPR, legal framework, then administrative and management, commercialization of IPR, and enforcement, and as from the human capital.
Very good. Now we go further. We now come to certain various industries. So there are different industries now we'll go through. Various industries, as this chapter is industry chapter. Various industries would be there. So more important for your mains point of view for paper 1 and paper 3. One is leather industry. So what is the program there? Indian Leather Development Program. We won't go through all the industries, whatever I found relevant from our exam point of view and what was some good information was given in yearbook that I has taken. So there is one of the program that is Indian Leather Development Program. So it has certain 6 sub schemes. Even if you read that, whatever you find that augmenting raw material base, addressing environmental concern, HRD, human resource development, infrastructure constraints. First one is integrated development of leather sector. What you need to do, just remember the headings. Go through it once and remember the headings. Okay, what are the various scheme programs under the leather industry, leather sector? So that if the question comes, you have certain authenticate source with you, authenticate data with you. Then support to artisans. How support to artisan? By your various clusters, promoting the clusters. So how these artisan clusters would help in a way of enhancing the design and product development, capacity building, marketing support and linkage. Institutional facilities, then leather technology, innovation, environmental issues, mega leather clusters. So what will happen in so when you go for cluster, what will happen? There is one of the point is common state of the art infrastructure. So various industry they come together in a cluster. Whenever you have a cluster based approach, one thing is more specified directive policy you can have, and you have the cluster, you can provide the benefits at one go to all the industries in the cluster and help in the, you can say, agglomeration of the industrial sector. So go through the schemes once again.
Scale, economy of scale.
Yes, yes. So Indian Leather Development Program. Go through the schemes once again, programs once again. We have Indian Leather Development Program, Integrated Development of Leather Sector, Human Resource Development, Support to Artisan, How Support to Artisan by way of cluster-based approach. And for that purpose, we have Mega Leather Clusters. So bring both of these points at one go. Then establishment of institution facilities. So new campuses of fiber distributed data interface, leather technology, innovation, environmental issues, so financial support to the leather clusters to meet the prescribed pollution control, discharge norms and environmental issues. Next is textile. So it says various in the textile industry, textile sector, there are various industries and various wide range of fibers, including man-made fiber, cotton, silk, jute, and wool. And we had found that in the economic survey there was discussion regarding apparel and shoe sector. Yes. Right, if you remember. So there was certain analysis was given regarding apparel industry. Yes.
China to Vietnam and Bangladesh.
So we'll discuss that part as well. First we go through whatever is given here. Now, importance of Indian textile, it says it is having close linkage of industry to agriculture, and agriculture is backbone of livelihood in India. So definitely it has strong socio-economic benefits. Then linkage with the culture and tradition of the country. It's a very important point. This is once the question comes regarding textile. So this textile sector has linkage to the agriculture, to the culture and tradition of the country. Then various kind of products. These products they help in the domestic production and the export markets. Industrial output, employment. Textile is also very highly employment intensive sector. It is.
So there are also points about exporting finished products like
yes,
adding value.
Exactly. So it helps in the exports because we are trying to enhance the value of our basically the handicrafts and those sectors we are also trying to give the encouragements. Now, how much their contribution of the textile? 10% of manufacturing, 2% of India's GDP, and 13% of country's export earnings.
Largest employer after railways.
After railways?
After railways.
Or after agriculture?
After railways.
So agriculture is unorganized.
Okay, see the contribution again. The question comes regarding textile. This is the authenticate data. Contribution 10% of manufacturing, 2% GDP, 13% export. It also says 45 million people employed directly, and textile industry is one of the largest source of employment generation in the country. So these shows the importance of textile. So very important. This 7-8 points we had discussed. So very important point these are, and highly important sector it is for our exam point of view. So go through the points once again. Different kind of fibers we have. Then it says linkage to the agriculture, culture, and tradition. Then in the industrial output and employment generation and exports. Then certain data to back our analysis. What is the data? 10% to manufacturing production, 2% GDP, 13% of export earnings. And how much people are employed? 45 million people employed directly. So it is one of the largest source of employment generation. So what was that we discussed in economic survey regarding textile and leather?
So these are the problems of Indian textile sector. Why India is not able to take the place of China as a China is vacating the place of textile, so India is not able to take. So one is
China why it is doing so?
Because of rebalancing.
Exactly. So remember this word, this phenomena, rebalancing. China is rebalancing its economy. Why it is doing so?
Shifting to high technology sector because its labor costs are increasing.
Exactly. So until now, it has been its economic growth had been buoyed by export-oriented, low-cost manufacturing products. And textile, they are even regarding textile, this apparel sector. So their major cost is the labor cost. And when the labor cost, major proportion of that, if that labor cost is increases, it increases highly the overall product cost as well.
Lose export power.
Exactly, it will lose the, it will just, the export competitiveness will decline. So it is losing its share. Other countries, they can capture that share, but India is still lagging in capturing that. We are facing stiff competition. Even our industries are shifting to the Bangladesh, Vietnam, various Southeast Asian, even to Ethiopia. The survey said even they are shifting to Ethiopia as well, right? So it is happening. Then it discussed why it is so.
The four problems. First, the labor laws.
Exactly, very good.
Then ports,
Logistics.
ports and logistics.
Yes.
Then we don't have FTAs with many countries.
Very good. Yes.
Fourth was
Is Amit mentioned
taxation.
tax policies? The tax policies. No, no, different. They said tax policies here are more favorable to cotton, whereas the over the world scenario they are going towards the known man-made textiles.
Man-made leathers, man-made synthetics.
Right. So we are not going as per the demand, rising demand in the global scenario. So we see then I have incorporated that part from survey here. So again we see it shows the significance labor intensive followed by the footwear. About the apparel sector they are saying. Now it can be used as vehicles for social transformation. Very important point it is. Because first of all it is highly employment intensive, and even among those who are employed it is the mostly women who are employed in them. And whenever women get the employment, it is a social transformation. It is a transformation of the whole family, the whole society. When woman is empowered, because now she will be involved more in the decision making in the households, at the society level, at different levels. So overall, social transformation. And it says it compares our social indicators with Bangladesh. Why in Bangladesh it has better social indicators? Why? Because of this thing. Right. So it says historic opportunity, China vacating space filled by others and not India. So I believe from this line you can easily understand what the thing is going on. Various issues regarding logistics, labor regulations, third, tax and tariff policy. What is that regarding in cotton? That says impede competitiveness in man-made fibers and favored instead cotton-based exports. Whereas the world scenario is different. World demand is shifting strongly towards man-made fibers and against cotton-based exports. And we are going, our tax policies are in other way around. Same way regarding footwear, it says global demand for footwear is shifting away from leather footwear and towards non-leather footwear. Right? So this shift can be attributed to a host of factors like physical comfort. Okay, leave it. So what to do? We need to rationalize our domestic policies so that we go along to the demand, what is demanded in the market. And this is regarding trading environments, regarding various trade agreements that we have with the various countries, other countries. So even in that regard, our competitive countries, they are gaining. They have better trade agreements with major, export markets like Europe, US. Yes. Right. So you remember, I believe you recall all these points from that chapter. So if you need to revise the textile or the leather, read from this.
Even sir, when American friends send gifts to India, if they are textile, they are made in Bangladesh.
Okay.
Made in Bangladesh.
Now we read certain schemes related to textile industry. First is India Handloom brand. Remember them directly. Very important segment this textile is. For our main focus is towards males. India Handloom brand. Secondly, ATUFS. That is Amended Technology Upgradation Fund Scheme. आप उनका just remember the heading. Even you can easily recognize what is there inside. Third, protection of cotton farmers. Infrastructure for textile industry. So there are different parks are created. Skilling in textile sector. So there is one scheme that is integrated skill development scheme. An integrated processing development scheme. Read them once again. India Handloom brand. So we are creating India Handloom brand. ATUFS Amended Technology Upgradation Fund Scheme.
तो आगे खादी में भी आएगा.
Protection of cotton farmers. Infrastructure for textile industry by way of the various parks. Skilling. Integrated processing development scheme. Now we read in the cotton this. We read about it just for the understanding. It says it shows how much. So the ratio of use of the cotton to man-made fiber and the filament yarn is 59:41. It just gives the idea we had been discussing just now. The share of cotton-based fiber and the garments are more in comparison to the man-made, whereas the world demand is other way around. Come regarding jute industry. So one was cotton textile, now is jute. I have taken it. There was after certain pages, it was again mentioned cotton. So I have compiled it in one place. In the jute, you can see major industries are where? In West Bengal, even the region growing jute is where? West Bengal. It had been the Ganga Brahmaputra plain that where the maximum jute production happened. So after independence, most of the area that was jute rich area that got transferred to Bangladesh, and we had major industries. But still, West Bengal is in India, we can say number one. And jute is called what? Golden fiber. Why it is important? Safe packaging. So how it meets all the standards of safe packaging. Jute benefits. It's natural, renewable, biodegradable, and eco-friendly. So these are important points. Remember them.
Compared to plastic.
Yes, natural, renewable, biodegradable, and eco-friendly. So there was a Yojana of 2016 regarding textile. Did you read that? अगर नहीं पढ़ा तो at least even if you don't read a Yojana completely, at least read the first page. First page means the editor's desk, chief editor's desk. Let's summarize the whole Yojana, even if you don't go through the complete one. Come regarding silk. Silk, second largest producer, India. After China, now we have different variety of silk. Mulberry. Mulberry has the highest proportion, around 75%. Erie, 16%. Then, how do you pronounce it? TASR? SAR? Tussar? You know it? Tussar. Then Muga. Muga is very less, 0.5%, 155 million ton. Muga. So highest proportion we have Mulberry. From PT point of view, remember in silk, which silk India has the highest? Mulberry, 75%. So Mulberry, Erie, this is a decreasing order. Mulberry, Erie, Tussar, Muga. We have Central Silk Board. Then there is in the wool we have Central Wool Development Board. You can leave it even. In the wool we have Pashmina Wool Development Program. Come to handloom. Again, the handloom, it has linkage to the agriculture, providing huge employment to how many people? 43 lakh weavers and allied workers. It contributes 15% of the cloth production and also contribution to the export earnings of our nation as well. So So we have India Handloom brand also. Handicraft. Which scheme do you have for these, say, craftsman, artisan, ustad we have? What is the issue regarding handicraft? Unorganized, lack of education, low capital, poor exposure to new technology, absence of market intelligence, and poor institution framework.
Every problem we can write.
So these are various issues regarding handicrafts. So a major issue even regarding now government is encouraging a lot handicraft. Even you had seen our Prime Minister also encouraging khadi, the various products of the handicrafts as well, right? And so what the purpose is? Purpose is to create a brand, so that because there can be huge value attached to the handicrafts, and even a big market can be there in the foreign countries, and still those who are willing to pay the higher prices for these Indian handicraft products. So need to create a market linkage. So e-commerce can be used for that, and that is also used by the ministry has, I don't remember the exact which e-commerce they have signed an agreement with, but yes, they had done it so. So what they will do, they will bring these Indian handicraft products on that e-commerce, and that will be sold through that. So kind of support, because one thing is you support them financially in creating the product so that they get a support. Secondly, those products are being having the direct linkage to the market. People, they can have access to those products. So that can be done by way of, one thing is by way of these e-commerce linkage. Secondly, by having various fairs where there are encouragements, people come there, awareness regarding in Delhi Heart, you see that regarding handicrafts and all.
This will show crafts mela.
Yes, crafts mela, yes. Good. Now there are certain schemes for promotion of textile, handlooms, institution credit, weaver credit card scheme, then block level cluster approach, and handicrafts. These are various schemes. So see the various schemes of handicrafts at one place. The government implemented 7 central sector schemes in handicrafts. Baba Sahib Ambedkar Hast Shilp Vikas Yojana, Design and Technology Upgradation Scheme, Marketing Support and Service Scheme, Research and Development Scheme, Human Resource Development Scheme, Handicrafts Artisan Comprehensive Welfare Scheme, Infrastructure and Technology Development Scheme. So there are various schemes regarding handicrafts. And this is the umbrella program where all these schemes are merged. National Handicraft Development Program. And now we have specific components under this one program. So regarding handicrafts, remember this one umbrella program, that is National Handicraft Development Program. And what are the major components? Ambedkar Hast Shilp Vikas Yojana, Dastkar Sashaktikarana Yojana, Design and Technology Upgradation, HRD, Direct Benefit to Artisan, Infrastructure and Technology Support. So remember these a few. Remember the program and a few of these schemes regarding handicraft. Right, so it's important for mains. If question comes, you have certain things, direct schemes with you. What is the program, Amit? National Handicraft Development Program, NHDP. कुछ नहीं कर सकते, याद करना पड़ेगा इनको, ठीक है. अंबेडकर हस्तशिल्प विकास योजना, दस्तकार सशक्तिकरण. दस्तकार ही होते हैं जो हाथ से काम करते हैं. दस्तकार सशक्तिकरण योजना, design technology HRD. Even if you forget about, rest are common: design technology, HRD, and infrastructure. The first two are specific. Ambedkar Hast Shilp Vikas Yojana, Dastkar Sashaktikran Yojana. Yes, Priya, बताइए. What is the program? The umbrella program.
National Handicraft Development Program.
NSDP. Then various schemes, components under NSDP.
Baba Sahib Hastashilp
Vikas Yojana, Ambedkar Hastashilp Vikas Yojana. Then secondly, फिर से पढ़िए, दिव्या बताइए.
National Handicraft Development Program, it has following components like Baba Saheb हस्तशिल्प योजना, दस्तकर.
हस्तशिल्प का क्या करेंगे? विकास करना है.
विकास,
ठीक है.
दस्तकर सशक्तिकरण योजना, ह्यूमन रिसोर्स डेवलपमेंट.
दस्तकार, आई थिंक दस्तकार बोलते हैं ना, हिंदी में दस्तकार बोलते हैं.
हस्तशिल्प का मतलब हैंडीक्राफ्ट.
And the silk is the meaning of handicraft.
ठीक है. For jute we have this policy. There is technology, jute technology mission and the policy as well. There is Khadi and Village Industrial Commission. Remember this, just that we have this commission so that it can be used somewhere by you. Khadi and Village Industries Commission. These are the objectives: social objective of providing employment in rural areas, economic objective of sellable articles, wider objective of creating self-reliance amongst people and building a strong rural community spirit.
सर ये आईआईपी का न्यू वो क्या बेसिक है? आईआईपी का न्यू बेसिक
अरे
आईआईपी का वही
4 to 5 ही है.
4 to 5 4 5 उसका
डब्ल्यूपी क्या नाम है?
Now come to steel. Various essential inputs. What are the requirements, raw materials or inputs in the steel industry? So for PT mains, both important it is. Iron ore, limestone, dolomite, magnesium ore, chromites, ferroalloys and sponge iron. So these are components required in the steel industry.
So coal is also required. Coal.
Yes, coal is required. Yes.
सर नेक्स्ट टाइम 2 o'clock.
In 3 o'clock, because even it won't be feasible for me.
So Saturday is the class.
Nikal, tomorrow will be the class. We have a class tomorrow.
At what time?
The same time, 3 o'clock.
Saturday also.
Saturday, Sunday, I'm not sure, but tomorrow we have. That's why we are having the class tomorrow. ठीक है. On the weekend, we won't be having class, most probably. Saturday, Sunday, this weekend. So iron ore, limestone, dolomite, magnesium ore, chromite. These are the various components. Now there was a question 2 years ago, I think 15 regarding steel industry. So even if you knew that we don't have high grade coal, right? What are the coal required in the furnaces in steel industry? We don't have that. We import from Australia basically.
Indonesia.
Yes, Indonesia, Australia. What is that coal?
Coking coal.
Exactly, coking coal. It says India is leading producer of sponge iron, net importer of the total finished steel every year. So though we are increasing our steel production, India is at what number in the production of steel? In third. First China, then Japan, then India. Now this is the ranking. So China around 800 million tons, Japan 105, India 90.
See the difference in the
yes, even in the first and second, 8 times. So huge difference. So this shows China's dominance of steel industry, the steel. So even that's why it is a major issue in India regarding steel, that if we say allow import as a free go, then China is dumping its steel. It has huge capacity. It has expanded a lot in the capacity of those steel industries. So they could dump its cheap steel in India, and our steel industry could be hit very hard. If what could be the measure? The WTO consistent measure, anti-dumping duty we could impose. So even though if you're writing certain points where we need to protect our industries, those measures you say in terms of WTO consistent, right? We cannot ban imports, right? What we can do, we can bring certain measures which are WTO consistent, and anti-dumping duty is a WTO consistent measure. But still we cannot impose huge import levy on that. Why? It would increase the rate of steel in India also.
Yes.
Isn't it? So, and steel has huge linkage to the industry that is used in the various industries. So that could increase further spillover effect in terms of increasing its damaging impact on our industrial sector. So that's a very catchy situation for India, that how do we manage that? Then comes the chemical industry, chemical and petrochemical industry. From mains, if the question comes regarding chemical industry, so just have some idea about it.
So there is national steel policy also, no? National steel policy.
I'm not sure. Have you read about it? Okay. Of which year this policy is?
Recently it was launched.
Recently. Okay. Anyways, we go through this chemical industry.
2016.
Okay. Chemical and petrochemical industry. Now this industry is knowledge intensive and capital intensive. Where it could be used? What all industries come under chemical industry? Because the question come directly, then you may not have idea what all industries come under chemical and petrochemical industry. What all comes, you see through it. Basic chemical products, petrochemicals, fertilizers, paints, varnishes, gases, soaps, perfumes, toiletries, and pharmaceuticals. All those come under chemical industry, chemical and petrochemical. Now you can write the answer if you know that these all come under these chemical and petrochemical industry. Right, so at least remember the components, but all are the different industries within this chemical and petrochemical. Because basically chemical is used in the various industries, isn't it? So chemical products, fertilizers, paints, varnishes, gases, soaps, perfumes, toiletry, then pharmaceuticals. It says diversification within chemical industry large and covers more than 80,000 commercial products and pivotal in improving the quality of life. Mainstay of industrial and agriculture development, how? Fertilizer. And provide building block of several downstream industries such as textile, yes, paper, paints, soaps, detergents, pharmaceuticals, and varnish. You can see even these industry, they are linked to the chemical industry because it is part of its downstream industry. Which one again? Textile. Now textile is again, it has huge socio-economic linkage to our economy, to our country. Pharmaceuticals also has huge significance.
So in textile we use it like for colors and all.
Yes, dyeing and color. All this. Food additives, pigments, polymers, all these. 100% now in chemical sector we have 100% FDI. De-licensing has been done regarding it. Then another importance regarding chemical industry is that IIP, overall weightage of 1000 chemical products, they contribute 100. Right. So what percentage? 10%. Then we have petrochemical, chemical and petroleum, chemical and petrochemical investment regions. Remember this point, very important point. This is PCPIRs. Petroleum, chemical and petrochemical investment regions. So all these points are regarding chemical industry. So again what? Cluster based approach, integrated, environment friendly. 4 PCPARs they have been, so you can leave it. Then plastic park scheme, another scheme regarding that. So again cluster based approach. Right. Pharmaceuticals, then we come to pharmaceuticals. So go through them once again, but all come under the chemical and petrochemical industry. Yes, Priya, what are the important points regarding chemical industry? Hmm? So I believe you are able to appreciate. Now you need to read this from the mains point of view. May not be asked in the PT, but for mains, yes.
Including products of the chemical industry are fertilizer, paints, cosmetics, gases, and perfume, toiletry, and
Hmm. Anything else? Yes, pharmaceutical, very good. So what other points are given there?
downstream
Hmm?
industries.
बताइए.
Yes, chemical industry acts as a building block for other industries as well, like textiles,
Yes.
soaps, papers,
Yes, good.
etc. We have exclusively a policy as well on it, petrochemical, chemical investment policy.
PCPIRs.
PCPIR.
So what is PCPIR? Petroleum, chemical, and petrochemical investment regions.
It's a cluster based
Right.
approach, and in IIC, chemical has 10% share.
Very good.
100,000.
And FDA 100%.
It's D license, but
Yes.
mostly it's licensed, not 100%.
Then what else?
Plastic parks scheme.
Then there is plastic park scheme, yes. So all these are, now you can handle the question easily. Itnagar, if you remember all these points, then very well answer you can write. Regarding pharmaceuticals, we have this policy, NPPP 2012, National Pharmaceuticals Pricing Policy. Objective is what? So that essential medicines can be available at affordable prices, regulating the prices of essential medicines. And also need to balance what? Balance with the sufficient opportunity for innovation and competition to support the growth of industry, thereby meeting the goals of employment and shared economic well-being for all. So on one side, we are trying to balance the overall public good, that is having the pricing in affordable range. Also, you can say encouraging the innovation and all, protecting the inventors' right as well. And even this is part of our new IPR policy or IPR policy new that also talks about the same thing. Now, as per this policy, new this drug prices control order that was brought as per this policy, and now we have even regarding the stunts, their prices they were reduced, if you remember. Then there is uniform code for pharmaceutical marketing practices. There is this institution, this company, there is Indian Drugs and Pharmaceuticals Limited. So regarding pharmaceuticals, is better way is you just go through this policy, what this policy is, basic objective to have, right? Then you should read, you should go through the IPR page that we have in our notebook. Right? So there is specifically we discuss about pharmaceuticals, with various pharmaceuticals and interest of those, how the various cases they had been through, like Nexavar one, Glivec one, like compulsory licensing, Section 3D of Patent Act. What is Section 3D of Patent Act? Exactly. Exactly. So Section 3D of Patent Act. What is that, Divya?
Evergreening of patents.
Yes, means.
Was the case.
Small changes.
So it means prohibits evergreening of patents, isn't it? And even it is backed by the Supreme Court as well. Even Supreme Court, so the case went to the Supreme Court. So even we can say our Patent Act, one first thing, both of these, our Patent Act, even Section 3D, is in line with the WTO norms. WTO TRIPS mechanism, it is in line with that. Secondly, also backed by our judiciary. In the judgment, Supreme Court also had the same thing, that our Patent Act is totally constitutional and also invalid, right? So even Supreme Court recognized this fact, that just by thing was the companies are coming with the just small tinkering changes, and they applied because invention, this patent is applied for 20 years. For 20 years, the patent is got. After 20 years, that is open for the whole industry. So now they have to come. So they have to come. What they do? 20 years are about to over. They do some tinkering changes in the product, in the medicine. They come again, apply for the patent. So our patent act says no, it is not. It is not the way. And even Supreme Court recognized this thing, that just by incremental changes you cannot apply for patent. There should be some substantial improvement.
Who will decide if there is a small change or change?
Yeah, that our as per our act, we have the patent body. We have where they apply the patent. Office of Patent we have.
DIPP.
Yes, Office of Patent, that is autonomous body, and DIPP won't decide.
Okay.
We have Office of Patent that comes under DIPP. That is a different thing. That is autonomous body, you can say. And if they have the issue with that, we have appellate board.
Yes.
Then they can go to the courts as well. Regarding minerals, we have Ministry of Mines that does what? Survey, exploration of all minerals other than natural gas, petroleum and atomic minerals. We have this policy, National Mineral Policy 2008. Just remember the name of policy and then come to MMDR Act. What is the present legislation we have regarding Mine Minerals Development Regulation Act? Do you remember this act? MMDR. Very important act is regarding minerals. MMDR Act. Mines Minerals Development Regulation Act. MMDR Act 2015. More transparent mechanism for bidding is there. More transparent mechanism for auction. So competitive bidding mechanism. So they haven't discussed much about it in the MMDR here. Another components, if I remember correctly, that is there is District Mineral Foundation component as well. What is District Mineral Foundation?
Regulations.
Yeah, District Mineral Foundation will be there. So under the district authority,
it could be
right?
used for welfare purpose.
Exactly. So the fund is whenever any development, mining or mineraling there it happens, they have to contribute to that fund. And under district under collector authority, it will be in another district authority, and it will be used for the local people around there who have been affected by that mining or of those minerals. Right. So it is District Mineral Foundation and District Mineral Fund.
Last year,
Then even there was certain provisions, if I remember correctly, that whenever any bidding regarding after competitive bidding, so whosoever, so that could be easily transferred to the next bidder. Means if they captive bidding is there. So there was more relaxation to the captive bidders. Who are the captive bidders? Captive bidders are those bidders who bid for the, say, suppose they will go for the exploration of those minerals, and they will use those minerals in their own industries. Are you getting this point? So those are captive bidders. प्रिया को समझ में आ गया, बताइए.
Sir, one industry will go for exploration, and after that, raw material
They will be used by that industry itself. Then there is Khanij Kshetra Kalyan Yojana. So that Yojana will help in development of the region that is affected by the Khanij exploration, that is mineral exploration, and people affected by that mining of minerals as well.
District mines fund comes under Khanij.
Well, District Mineral Foundation comes under MMDR Act. As per MMDR Act, this is one component. Now come to cement industry. Cement, you can okay, cement is made of what? What all are required in the cement? Cement is required when development of infrastructure and construction, right? This industry, it's also highly emittive industry. It is huge emission comes out of the cement. CO2 emission. So it contributes to the global warming. Yes.
Yes.
How? One of the raw material is limestone. When limestone is what? CaCO3. CaCO3, right? So calcium carbonate remains there, and it becomes what? Lime CaO plus CO2.
Yes.
So directly emission of CO2 is there. And secondly, it also uses coal as a fuel. There also emission of carbon dioxide. See through what all are the so whenever an industry you do it, you see in what areas the industries are. Practice through map, so that if the question comes in mains, you have ready in your mind the map that what are the various locations where the raw material. So raw material is what? Limestone. So nearby that industry should be developed, isn't it? So also focus over what are the locations where the industry is there. Even if you don't remember the exact names, at least remember the regions so that you can highlight the region. Even if you highlight the region in the map, it gives a good impression. ठीक है, आपको हो सकता है नाम नहीं पता exactly कौन सा नाम है, which location is there, but you know the region. Where do you find the limestone? Where do you find the karst topography? It requires a karst topography with limestone, isn't it? So from where? Yeah. WPI, you know about it. 4-5 index, 676 commodities are there. Then there is Aspire, this scheme. Remember this scheme, Aspire. Scheme for promoting A scheme. So A stands for a scheme for promoting innovation and rule. What? Now I think there can be A scheme. A scheme for promoting innovation and rural industry and entrepreneurship. There is a full form. A scheme for promoting ASP.
Yes, sir, there is a full form.
Promoting innovation and rural industry and entrepreneurship. So remember this scheme, very important scheme it is, a scheme for promoting innovation, rural industry and entrepreneurship.
See, this is part of startup, no? Startup India Rural Project.
I'm not sure if it is part of startup or not.
Because innovation, rural industry and entrepreneurship.
This can be used in the when the question comes regarding MSME, MSME industries. So more so it is important regarding MS, and MSME is very important sector, highly prominent chances. Last year it was not asked regarding MSME, so this year very probable question regarding MSME industry, MSME sector. So I have made some notes on MSME on just one page. I have compiled those, so I will share that with you after once PT is over. Now this is also very good here on just in a few lines all the scheme means major schemes linked to MSME are given at one place. PMEGP, Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, scheme of fund Spurti, that is scheme of fund for regeneration of traditional industries, credit guarantee scheme, credit linked capital subsidy scheme CLCSS, National Manufacturing Competitiveness Program, MS Micro and Small Enterprise Cluster Development Program, MSME CDP. Directly remember this, I think you remember it. MSME Cluster Development Program, Marketing Development Assistance, Skill Development Program, International Cooperation Scheme. Read them once again and remember them because it's a very prominent topic, MSME.
So this Aspire scheme is not of Ministry of Agriculture, it's of Ministry of MSME.
Yes. So Aspire for both. It can be used for startups. It can be used for MSME as well.
So in exam, what if you don't remember the full form or full name of any scheme, then can we write short forms like
Yes,
PMGP?
definitely. And there are very high chances that we forget it.
Yes.
The full
There will
form.
be so
Yes.
much point.
Yes, Amit. The schemes linked to MSME.
Prime Minister Implementation Program Spurti, credit linked capital subsidy program,
Very good.
marketing assistant, uh, skill development, international cooperation,
Hmm? International cooperation.
and micro and small enterprise cluster based.
Cluster development program. Very good. So let's go through them once again. PMEGP, Aspire, Spurti, then CGS, CLCSS. So one is CGS, that is Credit Guarantee Scheme. Then CLCSS, that is Credit Linked Capital Subsidy Scheme, Manufacturing Competitiveness Program, Cluster Development Program, Marketing Development Assistance, Skill Development Program, and International Cooperation. Finally, Geological Survey of India, what it does, it provides various basics earth science information. So that's all from the industry chapter. So very good chapter it is for the mains. Read it multiple times after PT is over. Still, you go back home and revise it. It's very essential to revise. If you don't revise, we tend to forget. And for PT also, there are many schemes which are important. So go through them. Remember, try to remember them. IPR policy important for PT also, right? So try to remember, try to understand.
So is there any way to copy these notes or to download these notes?
Yes, you can copy them directly.
No, it's not.
You cannot copy.
No.
Is it so? Can you click over it?
It's restricted. I tried.
Did you try it?
It's restricted.
Let me see.
I think you made it wrongly.
Same.
Is it copyable?
Is it why we copy? Was able to copy
The whole entire file. Let me see. And
no, it was selected.
selected lines. Let me see. Just give me
I'm reading it presently online.
Can you select it? If you're able to select it, then you can copy.
You don't have permission to write to this section.
No, that is fine. You don't have permission to write, but can you select it? Yes, you can. With the right click, you find the option now. Hmm?
So I have copies.
The whole page or certain?
This whole page can be copied, sir.
And what about the certain portion?
That also you can copy.
They do it, huh? Try to copy it first. Based in your own home. You have your own home, right? The person.
Now it's working.
It's working.
Earlier I thought it's
Okay, that's all about industry chapter. Now we come to the next one. Next one, it's law and justice. It's better you go through your Lakshmikant portion. That is quite sufficient. Okay, so we try to revise your polity courts portion, judiciary portion. So what kind of judiciary we have? Integrated judiciary, Supreme Court, High Court, and the subordinate courts. How the judges of Supreme Court are appointed?
by the president.
Who appoints them? President appoints them. What is the process?
it will comprise the body of three.
Collegium, that is called. Now you're trying to recall as consolidated.
Now, for Chief Justice of India, there is a panel of judges from the Supreme Court who give the name and finally selected by the president.
No, for Chief Justice of India, the senior most judge will be appointed as the CJI. For the rest of the Supreme Court judges, it will be collegium of three judges comprising CJI and two
See, for
senior most
CGI,
judges.
there is no so much issue because he's already judge of Supreme Court. The provision I'm talking about regarding appointment of Supreme Court judge. Who will become a Supreme Court judge? How the person will be analyzed? Collegium, right?
Comprising three persons.
So president will do so on the recommendation and advice of you can say CGI
Two senior most judges.
and
Senior most.
how many?
Two senior most judges.
Four. So this process got developed or this process got evolved by the judiciary itself, right? Because in the constitution it only says that a president shall appoint them on the advice of the say in consultation with the exact word is in consultation with CGI and other such judges ऐसे करके. So the judiciary initially, so this system got evolved over three judge cases: first judge case, second judge case, third judge case. The first judge case, it said, so there was an issue regarding that whether this advice, this consultation of CGI is binding on president or not, right? So initially, in the first judge case, that said yes, it is binding, right? Sorry, in the first judge case said no, it is not binding. President can decide by itself. In second judge case, that said no, it is binding. The advice of CGI is binding on the president, but before giving such advice, CGI shall consult with a collegium of two other such judges of Supreme Court. In third judge case, the number of judges was increased from 2 to 4. So presently we have this system, collegium system, where 4 judges are consulted, are part of this collegium.
And so for CGI, there is
CGI is already a Supreme Court judge. When this CGI was appointed as Supreme Court judge, then this process was followed. But now he is already a Supreme Court judge. There is no need for such.
So what is the actual process to select the CGI?
Is a senior most judge automatically becomes
There
the
is also
CGI.
some controversies over there.
No, it is a senior most judge basically who is finalizes CGI. Then there is regarding, so same process is for the High Court judges also. There is collegium system. But in that case, governor is also consulted. Then there is removal of both Supreme Court and High Court judges. Who removes them? Again, president. And so in the constitution it says Parliament can enact a law to remove them. So Parliament accordingly brought with Judges Inquiries Act.
Yes.
And in Judges Inquiries Act, there was certain procedure was laid down how those will be removed. So how those are removed? कैसे करते हैं भाई पूछ रहे हैं आप लोगों से.
There's a resolution passed in
Basically, we use impeachment word specifically for president. We try to avoid using impeachment. Basically, say removal of Supreme Court judges.
There is a resolution passed in any house of parliament. There is a resolution in any house of the parliament. Then there is a formation of committee. In which committee there is a Supreme Court judge, High Court judge, and eminent jurist. And that committee inquiry, and if passed by the committee, then there is a voting.
What is by what majority it is voted upon?
Sir, there is difference majority. Neither it's simple nor is special majority. Yeah, there is
Are you
simple.
sure?
Yes, sir.
It's special majority. It's special majority.
Sir, it's the same majority for the president.
No, president different. But again, there are three kinds of special majority.
Yeah, three kinds of special majority.
So, but it is still special majority.
One is for the special majority for amendment, one is the president, and one for the Rajya Sabha. And one is for the Rajya Sabha.
What Rajya Sabha?
If Rajya Sabha has to pass the creation of the All India Services.
Very good. Yes. So there are three kinds of special majorities.
And three are all the different, sir.
All the different, yes. And for different purposes, these are used. Okay, so what else?
And then if you passed by that particular house, then it move to the another house.
Yes, good.
Judges have to write to say behalf of himself or herself. And after this resolution passed by the both houses, the case goes before the president. And if he assents that resolution on that particular date, removal of judges, and it must be in the same system.
So, what is the majority? Majority, बताइए क्या?
Majority is, I think, sir, majority of the total present voting. Majority of not.
Yes, Divya. 2/3 of the members
Present and voting.
Present and voting. And what are three different kind of majorities? The difference in that?
For president is the total membership. 2/3 of the total.
Correct.
Membership.
Good. Yes.
And for amendment there is a majority of total membership plus 2/3 of the present and voting. For amendment, constitutional amendment.
See, the constitution amendment majority and this same majority it is. There are three kinds of special majority.
Yes.
Right. First one is when
for president, 2/3 of the total membership.
Right. For president, 2/3 of the total membership. It is the toughest majority is required.
Toughest?
In India, it is the toughest.
Okay.
For president.
Yes.
Isn't? Or is there any other tough majority that is required? I don't feel so. For president, 2/3 of the total membership. Then secondly, it comes 2/3 of the members present in voting and absolute majority. Yes.
And majority of the membership.
Yes, that is. Right. So that is used in the removal of Supreme Court, High Court judges, Article 378, CAG as well. So in all those different. Then there is regarding when special powers of Rajya Sabha. What are those special powers? For example, Rajya Sabha can authorize the Parliament
to make new All India services.
To new All India services. Moreover, yes, this is the more important provision.
State list. Yeah.
Yes. So Rajya Sabha can authorize Parliament to enact a law on the state list in case of any national interest. It is. So that is special majority. What is the majority that? Simple 2/3 of the members present in voting.
Yes. For president, 2/3 of the total membership.
Yes.
For Rajya Sabha, 2/3 of the present and voting. For Rajya Sabha, 2/3 of the present and voting. For third one is the to उठा the present voting plus majority of total members. Absolute.
Absolute majority.
इतना tough question.
It's not so tough question. It's a simple polity question. It's not so tough question. You should be aware about all these. Then there are various jurisdiction of the court, Supreme Court. What are the various? बताइए.
Nerva case. Vishwanath Bharati for.
I'm talking about huh? The various jurisdiction, writ jurisdiction.
Okay.
It's. बताइए, what are the various jurisdiction of Supreme Court? Original, where center state relation or between states it is. Writ, you know about it. Which article? Article 32. For High Court it is 229 it is, or some or 216. No, 326 तो नहीं है. Either 216 216 होगा I think that. 226 okay.
226 okay.
So for High Court it is 226. The difference between High Court and Supreme Court writ jurisdiction. What is the difference?
High Court scope is larger than the
Supreme Court. How?
Supreme Court can issue it for any cases.
Exactly.
Supreme Court is only for the fundamental.
Very good. Yes. Very good. फिर से पढ़िए इनको exactly हाँ. Then what else? What other jurisdiction comes? Appellate jurisdiction, advisory jurisdiction, SLP as well. Under which article? 136 and this advisory 146. ये कौन सा है?
Sir, by writing articles in mains, does it give any
Yes. It is very important. It is very important. If you write something and it has certain constitutional backing, in prelims they are not asking articles, but it doesn't reduce the importance of article. These are very important for mains, specifically for certain issue-based topics are there, and in those issues, what all articles you can use. For example, Uniform Civil Code. Now this is a DPSP, Article 44. Some question comes regarding old age. There is a DPSP. ये हर Uniform Civil Code हर कोई लिखेगा. Article 44. But if it comes regarding say disabled people, there is a constitutional DPSP. What is that? Article 41. 41. ठीक है? What all sections come under Article 41? In case of unemployment, disablement, old age. ठीक है? तो आपके old age भी आ गए, disabled भी आ गए, ठीक, unemployment लोग भी आ गए. So ये सारे वाले नहीं दिए लेकिन but these are specific, old age and disabled. So question is prominent question if the it can come for the disabled people. Government is having so many campaigns, Accessible India campaign, right now. Even that there was disability amendment bill also that was passed. More new categories they were brought into the disability. So read that act as well. So it is very important portion. So you should have certain constitutional background for that.
So provisions of bill can directly become like disability bill, mental health bill.
In mains, yeah, because last in 2015 these kind of question had been asked. In 16 they didn't ask directly about the bill, but in 15 they asked around 3-4 bills directly.
So whatever bills like past bills, it's important.
Past also the proposed important bills.
Proposed.
Yeah, last year they asked in 2015 they asked one or two bills that was not even passed. That was proposed bill. But yes, so that is so you should have exact clarity what the provisions are. Then only you can analyze what are the positives, negatives of that. Then there are provision of ADR, alternative dispute redressal mechanism,
Yes.
right? So that goes for
Arbitration,
yes,
mediation.
arbitration, mediation, conciliation. So you go for all these. Then you have
Lok Adalat.
exactly Lok Adalat that comes under NALSA,
Nalsa.
right? So we have which DPSP do we have for that?
Nalsa. Free legal aid.
Free legal article, which article?
39.
39 article it is. 39A or 39? And there is Gram Nyayalaya as well.
Ram Mali question asked.
39A. 39A that is. Gram Nyayalaya, very important topic for PT it is. So what Gram Nyayalaya does? बताइए.
It's alternative dispute resolution mechanism. It's cover both civil and criminal.
Both civil and criminal, yes, good.
And if parties not agree with it, so there could not be appeal against any court. Yes, sir.
Hmm?
लोक अदालत आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट
लोक अदालत नहीं कह रहे हम, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट ग्राम न्यायालय.
अच्छा ग्राम न्यायालय, अच्छा ग्राम न्यायालय, ओके.
Maximum penalty they can impose is 100 rupees, and the appeal against the verdict can be made in session court or civil court.
Can't hear the crime, heinous crime, sir.
Heinous and harmful.
But it can hear both civil and criminal.
Civil and criminal, yes. And the local people, inclusion of local people, there is also provision of inclusion of local people.
So go through Gram Nyayalaya as well. It is important for PT point.
Last.
Okay, that's all for today's class. Tomorrow we'll try to do a couple of more chapters. Here is Gram Nyayalaya. There is an Act, Gram Nyayalaya Act 2008, Speed and Easy Access to Justice. Let's see the features. Nyadhikari will have the same power as judicial magistrate of first class, appointed by state government in consultation with the respective high court. So who appoints it? State government in consultation with high court. Then area specified by the notification by state government in consultation with the respective high court. So state government is doing the functions or deciding the things for Gram Nyayalaya. But every time it does so in consultation with the respective concerned high court. In mobile court, it can go anywhere, right? So whenever it goes anywhere, so the court itself takes place there. Both civil and criminal jurisdiction. It allows for conciliation of dispute and settlement of the same in the first instance. So appeals in the criminal matter can be made to session courts in the respective jurisdiction and civil matter to district courts within a period of 1 month from date of judgment. Empowered to accept certain evidences which would otherwise not be acceptable under Indian Evidence Act.
Gram Nyayalaya is an extension of subordinate court.
So why is this exception here?
Hmm?
Why is this exception of power to accept certain evidences?
There are certain judicial systems. In ADR, basically they go for in the quasi-judicial bodies, they go for certain time when certain evidences that cannot be accepted, not go exactly by how the court proceeds, to give more flexibility.
Yes, sir.
Because it is going for conciliation at the first instance. You see that conciliation of dispute and settlement at the first instance. So that is just to ensure, even you see in NGT, what is NGT?
Quasi-judicial body.
In NGT, it is not necessary to go by exactly how civil code of procedure it says. It should go by natural justice. So it just gives more flexibility for the court to decide accordingly. as the nature of the work is to ensure amicable solution among the parties at the first instance.
But sir, it will get like great pay for appeals in Supreme Court as well, now because
Yes,
these
it will be
rewards
appealed.
are.
Yes, your concern is well taken. Yes,
What's the?
she's saying even the case will further go into the courts basically.
We'll start hearing for the NGO.
Hmm?
If in this case, if the party is appealed in the session court or district court, I think the discussion or the court hearing will start from the zero.
That I cannot say. Or and
Yes,
even you know,
because this is not a proceeding of the court. Actually, it is a alternate.
even you don't need to concern much about it. He can't start over. That is part of the judiciary and law specialist. Just have an idea what the ground reality the function is. Okay, so that's all for today's class. If you like this video, you hit like and subscribe to our channel as well.